Hello and welcome to an interesting second round of the Dialog Schools Rugby League, the Super Round, the all-important Super Round where the champions of Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023 will be decided within these 2 weeks. First game of the second round, St. Peter's College taking on the Antonians, and this has even more importance for both these schools because they will be battling out for the Rector's Trophy here at Bambalapitiya. They'll want to make sure that they capitalize on this, and for St. Peter's College, they have the Dialog Schools Rugby League online, and they will want to make sure that they win this one. Joining me in the comment box is Abdullah Yusuf. Abdullah, a very warm welcome to you to here at Bambalapitiya, and also to the telecast of the second round of the Dialog Schools Rugby League.
So thanks, Darshan, and welcome everyone to Bambalapitiya. Yes, I think we're in for an enthralling game today as we have a look at the weather forecast. Ideal conditions for rugby. Temperature, maximum temperature 31 Celsius. The wind is quite still, partly cloudy, ideal conditions. The humidity is not that great as well, which is wonderful to see. So I don't think the players can make any complaints about the conditions whatsoever. And both these teams, Sudarshan, like to run the ball, isn't it? They've got some exciting three quarters. So if they want to execute any wonderful backline moves, the conditions just could not be better.
Oh, absolutely, Abdullah. The conditions are lovely, and the Antonians will revel in these conditions. The points table, this is how Antonians got through to the second round. They were part of Group 1A, and they managed to qualify as the second seeded team from Group 1A. After 6 games, they played, won 4 games, lost 2, and coming into the second round with 24 points on the board for them. In Group 2A, it was St. Peter's College who were the leaders of that particular group, managing to come through to the second round in Group 2A alongside Royal College, who managed to come through as the second place team. St. Peter's College winning all 6 of their games convincingly with 4 bonus points to their name and 34 points. Interesting group, this Group 2A, with all schools finishing ever so close to each other and being very competitive.
Yeah, especially that Group B, wasn't it? It went down to that very last week, and it was exciting because there was a match against St. Anthony's versus St. Thomas's up in Kandy. There people were wondering what is happening down in Colombo. It was just absolutely fantastic. And to St. Anthony's credit, they prevailed in that game, a very convincing win over the Thomians. And after a long time, they find themselves amongst the top 4. So I'm sure they'll be absolutely thrilled with the outcome.
Top point scorer of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023 after round 1, Rinesh Silva of Isipatana College, who was absolutely terrific, who's managed to gather up 67 points to his name, has been one of those pivotal finishers in this league, and also one of those people who you can rely on when the time calls upon, Abdullah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Isipatana backline, they have threats all over the park, isn't it? And Trinesh has been probably a beneficiary of that because he's got some good overlaps where he has done the finishing, and his place kicking has been relatively solid as well.
Top try scorer of the round 1, Roshan Kumar of and the Antonians will be featuring in today's game, so he has an opportunity to try and increase his tally. The number 14 of the Antonian outfit has been impressive for the Antonians alongside their skipper Sahan Kirtisiri.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just great, isn't it? We have the top try scorer today in this game as well as the top point scorer as well. So, the point scorer will be in tomorrow's game. But nonetheless, I think, as you very correctly said, the role of the Antonian fly half, the skipper Kirti Singh, I think he's going to be crucial. Whenever he plays well, the Antonians plays well, isn't it? And his kicking game is going to be crucial in today's match.
Antonians played 6 games, winning 4. And their first win came against St. Joseph's in that opening game of the league, 22 points to 12 at Bogambara. That was a delightful game for the Josephians. And then the morale that would have taken a toll on their morale, whereas when they lost to DSN Naika College 19 points to 23, unfortunately. But then they came back against Wesley College with a narrow win of 30 points to 29. Isipatana game, despite losing that one, they fought till the end that they will take heart on. And against Kensut, 26 points to 10 victory, and against St. Thomas's, like Abdullah said earlier, a 34 points to 17 victory. Antonians, 4 games that they won this season, they'll be pretty happy with how they went about this season, Abdullah.
Yes, but just looking at that list of results, it was a pretty much up and down results, isn't it? So that shows a little bit of unpredictability. So that is something the Peterites will need to watch out for.
St. Peter's, on the other hand, have had a perfect season. 6 out of 6 for them. Royal College against Royal College, it was an error-ridden game. Both teams not really playing to their potential, but the Peterites managing to win that one in that last gasp try, 11 points to 5 against Dharmaraja College, a convincing win of 34 points to 7. I think their toughest game came against Trinity College when they travelled up to Pallekele, 22 points to 10. Although the score looks convincing, it was a difficult game for Peters. Against Zaira, a rout, 56 points to 7 in Maradana. That would have lifted the confidence of the Peterites. Against Science as well, 29 points there. And then just before they wrapped up the first round against Vidyartha, they won it 66 points to 10. That was a very convincing performance by the Peterites.
Yes, just looking at the list of games the Peterites have played, you can sense that game by game they have got better, isn't it? Just not the scoreline, but the quality of performance as well. And they seem to be building nicely. And they'll come into this second round with a lot of confidence, but at the same time you sense that the pressure is very much on them as well, because they need to get a win, and a good win today, in order to ensure that next week will be the title decider.
Yes, the two teams warming up, going through their final prep just a couple of minutes ago today. And this man's kicking form is going to be crucial for the Antonians, who will want to make sure that they etch up that Rector's Trophy. Like you mentioned, pressure on Peters. Antonians coming in with nothing to lose. They want to make sure that they finish this season strong. Kirti Siri will be an important part of that mix, like we mentioned, and also the young scrum halves who will come into the mix later on in the game. Peterites playing at home, 2 more games, and if they can win them big, they have a title on the balance. They will want to make sure that they put in their all to make sure that they go home victorious. But plenty more to come. What we'll do now is we'll go for a quick commercial break, and when we come back we will have much more to chat about.
Nevum බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවේදී සමකට Cam Oil Big Shaving Foam අත්විඳිය හැකි වෙනසකට
Cheese with the yalu set එක smiley බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක snack එක දැක්කම හිත fix වෙනවා සරල කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා calypso mix එක ඕන වෙලාවක නගලම යනවා boring life එක break up කරගෙන salsa නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට onion kick එක full happening වෙනවා අචි රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. We KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances. Amazing.
Introducing the digital youth account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
Black? No problem. නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි. නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔබම වෙන්න.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වහවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක මෙන්න ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුරි මල් තමයි
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
VKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances. Amazing.
Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain. This freedom takes me north that I have never been. With one more bite of Revelo for the road. Love never felt this good. With one more bite of Revelo for love.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවීති සමකට කැමෝයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විඳිය හැකි වෙනසකට
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වහවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක මෙන්න ප්‍රීමා කොත්තුරි මල් තමයි
Bambalapitiya, the two teams ready themselves to take the field for the Rectus Trophy and also a Dialog Schools Rugby League second round, the super round starter, and plenty of games coming up this weekend as well as we look for the big one which will happen tomorrow. Royal College taking on Isipatana College for Major Milroy Fernando Trophy. That will be a thrilling encounter up at Royal Complex, and also the Canon RS Deserum Shield, despite not being part of the second round of Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. It will be a very fiercely battled contest between St. Thomas's College and Trinity College, of course, coming after that defeat against Royal College.
There's a lot of rugby to look forward to, especially the Royal Patana game tomorrow. You can feel the anticipation building for that game as well. We have a look
Let's
at that.
take a look at the Antonian team cards. Sadukata Kora, Latis Ragalanga, Sahan Kotowila, Abdul Rashid, Yasir Gamage, Chiranta Fernando, Shenuk Kotowila making up this, and Ravinder Gregory making up the starting 8 of the forwards of the Antonians. Oshan Gunaratna, the Nipi halfback, partnering up with the talismanic flyer of Sahan Keetisiri of the Antonian St. Anthony's, and Randhir Pereira and Rushen Kumar are the wings for Antonians, with Ravindu Vilagidar and Tiron Mariadas in the middle as the centre partnership, and Deshan Lienege at the back. Replacements for the Eagles: Sasindu Jude, Dasinta Sampat, Jayavansa Shevin, Sudesh and Kalpa making up the Antonian bench. As for St. Peter's, a couple of changes coming in. Ridmal, Runner Singh, Viro Banks making up the first row. Himansha and Chenik Pereira as the second rowers. Skipper Madhuga Skipper alongside Aiden Fernando and Dulaj Navodya, the influential number 8 for St. Peter's College. Sajid Galanga will partner up with Vinder Dimel. Important cog in the Pete right wheel with Dinet Ranasinghe and Pasindu Bandara making up the wingers for the Pete right. Sudesh Jaivikrama has been impressive for St. Peter's College in that number 12 jersey alongside Yumet Shihara and the highest point scorer for St. Peter's College, Kushant Tarindu, in the number 15 jersey. As for the replacements, we have Metasara Sachin, Revon, Sandin, Praneeth, Emit, Vishankar and Rahul making up the bench for the Pete Rights.
Yes, as you can see, both the teams just about to take the field. The Peterites have already got onto the middle of the field, just going through their last-minute huddles before the game starts. The Antonians just taking a few hits on the shields. And that will be taking the field soon.
Match officials for the day. The man in the middle will be Shankar Bekon, who will be taking charge of the game alongside Hasanta Veranga and Gihan Yatavar, who will be assistant referees 1 and 2 respectively, and will be looking to assist the man in the middle to try and carry out his job much more better.
It's one of the more experienced referees in the local circuit. As we can just see the Antonians entering the ground. As you can see, the crowd slowly but surely building up. Need to keep in mind that today is a working day as well, so expect the crowd to trickle in as this game goes on.
Sudesh Jaivikrama, who's been absolutely brilliant for St. Peter's College this entire season. He was last year's skipper, where the Pete Rights had a season to forget, and Sudesh is cutting no corners in making sure that he delivers a season to remember as his final season. And 2 more games up the left, they can go the distance. They will have a trophy and they will have a title to crow about the rest of their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. These traditional encounters mean a lot to schools, isn't it? The Antonians just going through their last minute rituals, and we've seen, I think, on social media how the Antonians how excited and pleased they are that they have made it to the top 4. It's a big achievement by these young lads, just winning this game here in Colombo and taking a trophy back up to Kandy will make them a team to remember for generations to come. So fairly sure that they'll want to put in a really good performance and try and get a win.
What better to impress your rector than winning the Rector's Trophy for them? The coaching department for the Antonians, of course, headed by that unmistakable figure, Srinath Surya Bandara, who's in the middle alongside Lasanta. Surya Bandara has really instilled that canniness to this Antonian outfit, that game read he has. And they will want to make sure that they make their coach, their alma mater proud, as Kushant Tarindu readies the kickoff here at Bambalapitiya. Here's the kickoff of the second round of Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023 as the Antonian big man collects the ball. Shanuk Kotuila safe underneath it. Antonians looking to use their forwards straight away. Sahan Kirtisiri gets in on the act, but that's a kick to forget, kicking it out in the full. So play will move back to the 22-meter mark.
Yes, well, not the start Kirtisiri would have wanted. Talking about the importance of his kicking game for the Antonians today. Unfortunately, just kicking it out on the full. So right on the 25. Great attacking opportunity for Peters to start off with. These are just the kind of mistakes the Antonians will need to avoid. Skipper's got to lead the way because, as we mentioned earlier, he plays well. St. Anthony's will always play well.
Yes, Navodyo with the line out. Important one goes to number 2, setting up St. Peter's. This is something the Antonians will have to try and negotiate. Once calls referee Ishankar Bekon, as the Pete Rights still search for that ball to go forward, now on the ground. Quick ball out to Dimel. Dimel gives it to Tarindu. Long cut out pass to pass into Bandara. Bandara now to Tarindu. Tarindu tries to run around.
Go back.
But Antonian defense equal to this task momentarily though. Now the forwards, Ridmal tucking the ball in for St. Peter's. Shihara, quick ball out to Tarindu. Tarindu makes it available. Pressure coming in from the Antonians on the counter ruck. Skipper Madhuka Skippe tucks the ball in inside 22 meters. He is the big man. Pereira carrying it forward, and that's a penalty in favor of St. Peter's College.
Yes, some really good structured play by St. Peter's. There was a slight weak pass in the passage of the play from the line out, but they managed to recover well, recycle the ball, continue to ask questions of the Antonian defense. And as you can see, ball going into contact, but the player who tackled the Antonian number one, I think it was Arthur Korala, needed to release the Peterite player.
Yes, there was no clear release. It was a decent tackle. He just had to make sure that he showed clear release before he had a right to the ball. Kushan Tarindu lining it up. The highest point scorer so far this league for St. Peter's College. Tarindu will want to make sure that he gets 3 points on the board for St. Peter's. Fairly easy regulation kick, and unfortunately doesn't find the direction. Had plenty of distance behind it though.
Yes, you'd have to say a missed opportunity for the Peterites.
Get behind the kicker.
It's critical that they get points earlier on just to put the Antonians on the back foot. It's okay to say with the restart. Nice long kick. Peterites letting the ball bounce but managing to recover. Jai Vikrama wards off one player. Makes half break and gives it out.
Brilliant tackle broken that time by Dinet Ruprasinghe, who puts the ball to boot, and Peterites putting pressure, looking to run, looking to make sure that the Antonians are privy to the challenge that is coming their way. Sending a message to Isipatana College as well, who will be keenly watching this one, who are going to take them on next week. Navodya with the line, good set piece, good set maul. Everybody driving. Antonians struggling to hold on. Need to come around. Now illegally brought down, says the referee. St. Peter's still going and makes the ball available. Ridmal carrying it forward into the 5-meter line now. St. Peter's, good defensive work around that fringe by the Antonians. Dimel with a cross kick. Oh, a little bit of a juggle there by Bandara.
No advantage.
But
Go back to the penalty.
penalty was coming for St. Peter's College, with the Antonians bringing that ball down, attempting to bring that ball down illegally. Interesting to see what the call will be for St. Peter's College. Ideally, they can opt to go to touch and set it up, Abdullah.
Yes, they'll definitely be having a lot of confidence from that last driving maul. I think they will go to the corner because the angle is quite difficult for their place kicker. But again, the Peterite 8 have been on song from the start of this game, isn't it? The second driving maul, the Antonians letting the Peterites get a bit of momentum from that driving maul and being penalized. So another cleanly taken maul, and the Peterites have set their driving maul once again, but this time the Antonians are up for it, have done well to stall it, but the job is not yet done. Peterites.
It was not ideal by the St. Peter's forwards. They didn't manage to hold the shape. Very good tackle coming in from the Antonians on Dinet Ruprasinghe now. Winder, Dimmer carrying the ball forward. Jai Vikrama to Bandara. Bandara looking for options, finds it in
No hands, you
the
off it.
phase of Pavan Himansha. St. Peter's now. Shenuk Pereira
Last foot.
carrying
Last
it
foot.
forward. Galage feeds it
Blue
to
number 3
Pavan.
side. Blue number 3 off type. Penalty side.
Antonians found offside, so there will be a penalty coming in favor of the Peterites. French defense not good, managing
finish
to
it.
go through that guard dog versus
No hands.
the Peterites. Space now. Vindarimal back on the hand to Jai Vikrama. Jai Vikrama offloads to Tarindo. Tarindo gives it out in a hurry to Rupasinghe. And that will be the first try for St. Peter's College, and a lovely bit of work by Dinet Ranasinghe.
Yes, a wonderful passage of play by St. Peter's. They controlled position very well, isn't it? They didn't rush the situation. They knew they had a bit of a free hit, as it were, because the referee was playing advantage. But again, the Anthonians are just falling off a few tackles, isn't it? And it's something they just cannot afford to do. It's putting themselves under a lot of pressure. They've got to make those first-time tackles. But having said that, what a start for St. Peter's. Just the start they would have wanted. Inside 10 minutes, they've got their first try. Dinet Ranasinghe putting the finishing touches to that move. And I think they'll be very, very happy with the start they have got, because not just the try alone, Sudarshan, even from the line out, the way they're applying that pressure from the maul, it's good signs for that Peterite 8 as we go into this game.
St. Peter's will be looking at not only making sure that they win this one, they will want to make sure all their moves that they want to try and play, they perfect it here. They perfectly execute it as Yumet Shihara lines up the conversion. Change in kickers with the change of angle. Shihara's conversion has the distance. Does it have the direction? No. A little too much to the left. Thus the scores will remain at 5 points to 0. Lovely offload by Dimel, which finds the hand of Jai Vikrama. And then Jai Vikrama had the good sense to offload it to Kushan Tarindo, who in turn put Ranasinghe in space.
It's the good thing about that try. At no stage did they try and force the issue. They showed a lot of patience, just waited for the correct moment to make the passes, and they're managing to put the finishing touches as the Anthonians have restarted play.
Galage finds Dimel. Here's Keetisiri, who's tracked back,
Number 5. Number
puts the
5.
ball to boot. Collected inside the 22 meters by Dimel, who replies in kind, finds Keetisiri again. Keetisiri this time putting the ball high up and finds Shenuk Pereira with a lovely offload. And that's a 50-22 for St. Peter's College, who are making it look so very easy.
Yeah, some brilliant play by, again, their playmaker Sandesh Jai Vikram, isn't it? Just identifying the space. Sudesh Jai Vikram identifying a bit of space at the back. But again, you have to say the kicking by Keertisiri just hasn't been accurate enough, isn't it? And when he's putting the kick, he's not chasing it as well to put enough pressure. The Anthonians will need to be much more accurate in their kicking game, because they have players of the caliber of Jai Vikram in the Peterite line. Just the ability to read the game so well.
Yes, St. Peter's once again setting it up. This time, though, they've had trouble getting the ball down, and Antonians have done very well to hold it up. Unfortunately, they didn't have to let that ball go. It's a maul. When you're on the ground, you have to just pounce on that ball and not let it come out. They've made the mistake of letting it come out. Jaya Vikrama trying to find that inside runner. Doesn't find him, but Peter still coming away with possession. Good carry that time by Pavan, who's charging himself forward. Galage to the big man, Ridmal. But good defensive work this time by Velagadara, the center. coming in the middle and doing that dirty work, tackling the ball, and that's a massive redemption for the Antonians, who can now get out of jail.
Yeah, that's right. Brilliant work by Ravindu Velagedara. The Antonians were in all sorts of trouble, but just managed to pick the correct moment. It's an area of the game where the Peterites are really good at, to getting numbers at the breakdown, to supporting the ball carrier, but those rare occasions where the ball carrier found himself isolated, and Velagedara was quick to pounce on it.
Seems like that initial kick that went out on the full has really linked the confidence of Sahan Kirtiseri, and if you can see the penalty where he's uncontested, he's only managed to get a gain about 15 meters up the land. We know this boy can kick yards and yards and yards. Important line out for the Antonians now. Gallanga overthrows, but luckily for the Antonians, Atakorala is there to collect that. Gunaratna gives it to the big man Gamage. Yasuri Gamage with a big carry. Now Kirtiseri. Terrible pass. Terrible pass and a half. Skipper needs to shake it off. Needs to make sure that he refocuses on this game, because there's only 5 points between the two teams.
Yes, and shake it off quickly as well, isn't it? It's so important for this Antonian cause.
Head coach of St. Peter's College, Sanat Morris, having a very watchful eye. He's done wonders with this team. He's won plenty of accolades with the Peterites, en route to win one more. They're just a week away. Here's Gallanga with the put in. Goes to the short side. Jayavikrama looks to offload. It's a good tackle on him. Ball still available. Now Bodhya looking for his forwards. Momentarily found Pasindu, who is not able to collect that ball cleanly.
It's a rare unforced error by the Peterites. They had the Antonian defense on the back foot. But just coming back to Kirtiseri, Kirtiseri. It's important that the Antonian rest of the players just rally around him and just calm his nerves down as well, because just got to bring his A game in today if the Antonians are to have a chance.
Oshan Gunaratna, the half-back for St. Anthony's College. He's a nippy character. Finds Kirtiseri, not a very good pass, but Kirtiseri collecting it and putting the ball to boot. Finds an empty space. Peterites guilty of letting the ball bounce. In pursuit is Mariadas. Mariadas finds the man Tharindu on the ground. Pressure on Tharindu by the Antonians. Here's Galage. Finds Bandara, who loses the ball forward. So the Antonians, all they need to do is kick intelligently, Abdullah, kick it in space and make sure that there is committed chasing behind it. The moment you can put pressure, you've seen that.
As we have a look at the replay of that first try. Brilliant work by Peterite wing 3. Rana Singh just putting the finishing touches. Had a bit of work to do, but did extremely well to get those first 5 points for the Peterites. So it'll be an Antonian scrum. Nice clean strike. It's fed out. Kirtiseri wraps around.
Velagedara. But that's a horror pass from Rondhir Pereira. But Roshan Kumar finding his way with a counter-attacking run. Play on, says the referee, because the juggler was right on top of it. Antonians try to hustle that one back, but have dropped it forward. So we'll come away with that one. Antonians looking to make sure that they get the wheels moving of the machine, Abdullah.
Yes, Antonian showing a bit of adventure there, but just that last pass not sticking, unfortunately for them. And we're talking about the experienced Sanat Matis. What a baptism of fire it's been for Srinath Surya Bandara, the Sevens maestro, legend in Sevens rugby, and still very much actively playing. But what a wonderful job he's done with this Antonian outfit.
Step out.
Patriots centre field scrum. Dimmer
Not 5 meters.
finds Shihar, who puts the ball to boot. Kirtisiri now
Not 5 meters.
finds the Antonian line, guilty of not retrieving 5 meters from the scrum. So penalty in favour of St. Peter's. Things really not getting going the Antonian way. Who need to try and refocus. Maybe they are missing that hot humid sun here in Colombo. They're looking like they're having an evening stroll at Nettawala here. Need to make sure that they refocus and not let Peters go away with points every time they come to their own half.
Yeah, that's right. Another interesting thing is in defense, it looks like they're using Kirti Singh at the back, isn't it, at number 15?
Number 10.
So probably not quite sure of his defense. As we have a look at that once again, yes, very clearly you can see the Antonian defensive line encroaching that 5 meter gap which they need to keep from the scrum just before the ball leaves the scrum. So very correctly spotted by referee Abe Kohn. So chance for the Peterites to extend the lead.
Shiharu lining it up for St. Peter's College. His second attempt at goal. This time around, no problem. Puts it through. So that will be 3 points in favour of the Peterites. 8 points to 0. St. Peter's now in front.
So we're just approaching the 20th minute of this first half, and the Peterites have pretty much played most of the rugby in the Antonians half, isn't it? We've hardly seen Antonians getting into the Peterites half to apply any pressure. So something which they need to look at, and a big part of that will be Kirtisiri's kicking game.
Good high-hanging kick by Kirtisiri as the Antonians win it back. Here's San Kirtisiri opting to run the ball. Good tackle on him by his opposite number, Windidimo. Pick and go by Kotuvila. Shehan carrying it for the Antonians. Here's Gunaratna.
Penalty advantage.
Penalty advantage. Kotuvila again for the Antonians, playing with penalty advantage. Sadhu Katugorala loses that forward. But luckily for the Antonians, 3 points were on offer.
Number 1. Offside.
Are they going to go for the post, or will they go to touch? With the confidence that Skipper's having with himself at the moment, I don't think he relished attempting a 40-meter kick up the but Antonians now with an opportunity inside the opposition 22 for the very first time.
Yes, well, that touch finder will definitely give him a lot of confidence. That was a fantastic kick right on the 5 meter line. Couldn't have got any better. So it'll be interesting to see the options that Antonians will take from this scrum. Do they have a driving maul of note?
Travelling fans of the Eagles getting vocal, backing their team up. Goes to number 4, no problem there.
Okay.
And the sack is good as well by the Peterites, who are jumping in on that maul, knowing exactly, absolutely exactly what to do, which is what the Antonians should have done on the other side. When it's a maul, you just got to make sure that the ball does not come out. It's completely the other side to what you need to do at a rock.
Absolutely, as you can see, a brilliant sack. Slightly naive by the Antonians as well. Probably need to be a bit more aware and probably transfer the ball out a bit quicker, but not the case. And the Peterites, as you can very clearly see in the pictures, all over that maul. So really good work defensively.
Quite literally, isn't it? All over that maul.
Yes, but a very good read. It's something probably they have practiced and rehearsed.
And good awareness of the rules as well, Abdullah. That's what's very important, that at this young age you need to make sure that you are very clear about the rules of the game, what can be done and what cannot be done, and how you are going to use it.
Yes, driving maul, once you get a bit of momentum, is something that's very hard to stop, especially 5 to 10 meters out, isn't it? So It's important to nip it in the bud, as it were, and that's exactly what the Peterites did on that occasion.
Ishanka Bekun did just warning the forwards that you can't really jump on that per se. You can get on top of the ball, but not jump on the players. Play on, says the referee. The ball bursts out, although the two halfbacks were not privy to it. The ball not finding touch. Still available for the Antonians. Here's Keith Siri. Looking for space, looking for options, but kicking it to a danger man. Jai Vikrama puts the ball to boot. Finds Keith Siri, who stretched back.
Here, you can't play.
Replies in kind. This time again finds Jai Vikrama. Jai Vikrama looking for options, looking for space. Big hit on Maria Das. Bouncing on that ball with Gunaratne. Lovely bit of work by the halfback. Here's Yasiru Gamuge from the Antonians carrying it forward. Atukoral, the deputy skipper for St. Anthony's College, needed to move away and show clear daylight, the Antonians.
Yeah, but I think that was a really good call by Abekon. If you look at it, it was not so much the player who was involved in the ruck, but the player who was slightly away. But what he was doing is, the Peterite player rather, he was slightly away from the ruck, but he was obstructing the player who was coming to clear out. As we can have a look at that, you can see it was number 4, Peterite. He was slightly away, but he was impeding the route of the player who was coming, the Antonian player who was coming to clear the ruck. So
you spoke about the earlier kick that would have given Keith Seri the confidence, but how about this one? Easily getting about 40 meters on that one. Antonian forwards need to make sure now that they set it up proper. They know what's coming from the Peterites. They are not going to contest. So you need to make sure that you first get the catch right. Look at the body language of the Peterites. They are not contesting. Goes down, makes the ball available. Setting it up are the Antonians. Once called by the referee. St. Peter's were going all out to sack Gunaratne. To Keith Siri, short ball to Velagedara, carries it forward. Good clearance. Ball available for the Antonians, but referee Abekon seems like he's spotted something.
yes, I think that was a dangerous clear out by Keith Siri. Don't think it was quite legal. Probably a neck roll in there as well.
Galike was the recipient in a halfback from St. Peter's College. Here's how it happened. The ball didn't look like it was going anywhere. Short ball to Velagedara was well marked. On the ground, and Keith Siri neck roll, yes. This is what happens when you get your backs to come and do the work normally entrusted to the forwards. Not many backs are going to take kindly to me after that, as Vindrimal picks the ball out and brings his team out of the 22.
There's a problem with that sequence of play was the fact that we'll come back to that.
Goal Cool Blast 3-in-1, a goal hair and body wash. The one wash that you need in your practice bags or your training bags, which gives you a Cool Blast. The Goal Cool Blast hair and body wash. As the Peterites get a clean line out and get their backs moving. Tharindu finds Bennett.
No hands, blue.
Galake. Good tackle by Shenuk Pereira.
Number 5, not rolling away.
Shenuk Pereira, good tackle, but was guilty of not rolling away. As Jimel will look to bring play back onto the opposite side. Antonians now stands their skipper and the talismanic flyer also need to make sure that they manage this period well, because without the flyer out, it's very difficult to try and get anything moving, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And it's a playmaker as well. It's not just defensively that they'll have problems, but even when they do have ball in possession. Just on the 25, nice clean take by the Peterites.
Yet again, going to that trusted maul option. This time around, Shahan Kotuvila found collapsing that maul. Beg your pardon, Sahan Kotuvila was the culprit.
Repeated. Last warning. General warning එකක් දෙන්න. Next time මගේ ඊළඟ option එකට යනවා.
Referee Abekon, clear instructions to the Antonian forwards. Next time he will reach into his pocket, and having lost their skipper to a yellow card, the last thing the Antonians want is to lose another player.
Yes, I think that was a pretty cynical effort by the Antonians, isn't it? Peterites had got a bit of momentum. You could very clearly see that they just went to ground and just tried to sack him once the ball was in motion, which you cannot do. So another great attacking opportunity for the Peterites, just 5 meters away from their goal line.
Here's Navodya. Cleanly taken by Fernando. And that will be a try for the skipper Madhugaspe, who has no problem touching down on the short side, scoring the second for St. Peter's College. Second try of the day for the Peterites, who look like they are not hassled, who look like they are having a training run, Abdullah, as usual here at Bambalapitiya, and they look like they are in absolute control.
Yeah, skipper Madhugaspe putting the finishing touches to that maul, and look very clinical, isn't it, Sudarshana? Been in control of proceedings. The Antonians haven't quite helped their cause as well, as we have a look at that maul once again. Once you get a bit of momentum, it's very hard to stop. And the skipper doing finisher's job, diving over for that try, the second try, as we await the conversion. Shihara taking his time, strikes it well, and it's over. So a wonderful kick by Shihara further extends the Peterites lead. It's 15 points to nil. And if you're an Antonian supporter, you definitely be worried. You have your skipper serving 10 minutes on the sidelines. As we have a look at that conversion, a nice strike by Shihara, giving it a lot of air, and sails over the crossbar. So we restarted proceedings. Jai Vikrama just evaluating options. The Peterites now playing with a lot of confidence. Lovely inside pass. And another kick ahead. A bit of trouble. The Antonians. The Peterites have managed to turn position over.
No, you lost the ball.
And to return it, and they have players out wide, just need to shift it. That was a bit unfortunate. They had numbers out wide, just needed to shift the ball out, but fortunately for Peterites, they had I think they had their two prop forwards in that situation, so yes, prop and the hooker taking the ball up. Unfortunately, just knocking the ball on.
Well, it wasn't really the first rower who lost the ball forward. It was the player who was coming in support who lost it, who was a little too eager to try and collect that. But lovely passage of play for St. Peter's College, who are looking like they are ready to shift the gears, because they want cruise control up until this half hour of their life. If they want to shift the gear and to make sure that they go on to the next gear, Antonians will be staring down at a very, very long day to come. Good clearance though this time, filling the boots of the departed skipper, bringing play just outside the 22 meters.
Yeah, so we've reached the 30-minute mark of this first half. The Peterites will be very happy with the way proceedings have gone so far. Not just leading 15 points to nil, but they've got 2 important tries as well. So got the rest of the game to try and get those next 2 tries and give them that bonus point, which you never know could be very important in the context of the league.
This time losing the ball forward were St. Peter's College, and also deemed not straight. Coach Martis is not happy at all. 4 minutes to go on the referee's clock. 15 points to nil here at Bambalapitiya in the Rector's Trophy. St. Peter's College taking on the Antonians. And St. Peter's will be looking, like Abdullah mentioned, to run in 2 more tries and get that bonus point to their name. Antonians, on the other hand, will be keen to create an upset here. Here's the Antonians. Mariadas cutting back inside and making that ball available. Gunaratna with the quick ball out to Kotuvila. Atukorala now with the carry, the deputy skipper. Is the man leading Ento now. Touched by a Peterite player. The chase need to be a little better. Here's Tarindu trying to create something. Dangerous runner Tarindu. Jaya Vikrama gives it to Bandara. In support is Rashid, making it available to Fernando. Fernando to Galanga. Here's Navodya. Navodya tackled by the Antonians, managing to pick that up. Play on, says the referee.
No, release now.
Antonians doing very well to get hold of that ball. Yasuru Kamuge loses it forward. Now Tarindu.
Advantage over.
Space. Madhuga Spay for his second. Right underneath the post. The skipper having a dream day here at Bambalapitiya. That was gifted to him, but a lot of good work by the entire Peterite outfit. Knowing exactly when to pass, knowing exactly when to create that gap, and Abdul Rashid, beg your pardon, Aiden Fernando of St. Peter's, who's wearing the number 6 jersey. Take a look at this one. Could have tried going on his own, but had the good sense to give the ball out to where the space was. Madhugaspe with a clear vision about what's in front, touching down right underneath the post. 20 points to nil. And the conversion is good as well. 22 points to nil. St. Peter's looking like $1 million.
Absolutely, Sudarshan. I think they're just gaining in confidence, isn't it? There's some wonderful passing. They're offloading now. The supporting runners are running wonderful angles. And they just really seem to be peaking at the correct time. So have a look at the replay of that conversion. Shiara makes no mistake, and signs are ominous for St. Anthony's. Just got to play a bit more of a territorial game. They haven't spent enough time in the Peterites' half.
Taken in.
And the Peterites just showing a lot of confidence.
Hey, can't play.
Dibel now with a long kick. Finds Roshan Kumara. He is a man who can spark things up for the Antonians, who puts the ball high up. Kumara in chase, but inside the 10-meter circle. Tarindu trying to take it quickly. But seems like the Peterites are determined to make sure that they get that all-important bonus point inside the first half itself as Dimel
Do number 5.
kicks the ball to touch.
Number 5. 5 out.
Yes, the Peterites are really looking to make a statement. Not a very good kick. It's putting your teammates under a lot of pressure. Just needed to go deep, isn't it, without going high. The wrong option, kicking option.
The moment he caught that ball, Abdullah would have wanted him to try and run it because he's able to find that space, has the speed as the Peterites yet again go marching forward through their maul. Here's Dimel, finds Jai Vikrama through the first tackle. Jai Vikrama, one man to beat. Jai Vikrama goes all the way. How about that for a try? So there's Jai Vikrama pumped up, and pumped up you can be, son. Let's take a look at that replay, Abdullah. What a brilliant try. Breaks the first tackle, gets away from the second and third. And the third, nobody was going to catch Sudesh Jai Vikrama when he was just 2.5 meters away from that line. What an incredible try.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That was Nonu kind of brutality shown.
Take a look at this. Cuts back inside, gets away from Velagatara. Sit down, says to Roshan Kumara as Jai Vikrama goes in and scores right underneath the post. Bonus point try, second for St. Peter's College as Umesh Shahara lines it up, and this could be a real double blow to the Antonians, their highest try scorer. Looking like he was rearranged. Roshan will not bow down ever so easily. But what a humbling sit down by Jai Vikrama.
Broke 4 tackles, isn't it? Just running a very straight line. Shiara making no mistake with the conversion, and just the ending the Peterites would have wanted. They have definitely stamped their authority in this first half.
Well, a lot of people would have called this one to be something close with a slight advantage to the Peterites, but 29 points to nil after the first half. Take a look at the Peterite team. They don't look like they ran in 35 minutes. They look like they are completely in control. Halftime confirmation, 29 points to nil in favor of the Peterites. Antonians still to trouble the scorers here at Bambalapitiya.
Yes, it's been a really dominating performance by the Peterites.
Keel's crispy chicken, no leftovers will be there if you opt to go for this absolute delightful Keel's crispy chicken, and nice and juicy chicken with a golden crust, Abdullah. And at the Rugby, we were lucky enough to sample a couple of pieces, and we can vouch for you that it's on point.
Yes, I seem to have missed that, Sudarshana. Maybe next time, but the Peterite supporters will definitely enjoy that as we have a look at the replay of that first half. It was the Peterites who started proceedings, and they got onto the score sheet via a really well executed passage of play. Driving maul stopped, but they shifted the ball around. Again, Jai Vikrama in the thick of it. Some nice offloads. And finishing touches being put over by Dinet Ranasinghe. That was the first score.
Shahara's conversions, the initial couple looked a little shaky, but then managing to rake in the penalty. But the skipper, Madhugashpe, benefiting from an important maul, found himself in the scorers list on the short side, making sure he touched down and there is no problem. Shihara added the extras, and then came this mistake from the Antonians, spilling it forward. Tarindo running that important line, and then Madhugaspe changed in direction, just got away from one man, had no problem touching down right underneath the post. What a day he's having. Shihara, regulation kick, no problem. And this Abdullah, definitely the try of the game, maybe a contender for try of the season.
Yes, just look how he managed to stay on his feet. That just takes tremendous strength. Jai Vikrama doesn't look as one of the bigger made players as well, but obviously he's got a very good sense of balance. And the conversion was slotted over. So the Peterites, 29 points to nil, sitting pretty. And they have done what they wanted to do, isn't it, Sudarshan? First of all, win the game. We know there's another half, but it'll be an uphill task for the Anthonians if they're wanting to come back. And most importantly, they have got the bonus point in the first half. So you'll find a pretty relaxed Peterite outfit coming and to probably just extend this form before the all-important game next week.
Yes, plenty of things to chat about. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will have the action of the second half of this all-important encounter.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances. Amazing.
Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න. ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Aloe vera and mint for freshness. Chamomile for sensitive skin. Lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam. A change you must experience.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සෝ මික්ස් එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්සා නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් වෙනවා අචි
රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවේදී සමකට කැමෝයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විදිය හැකි වෙනසකට.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වවලා යන්න කින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තමි kick එක මෙන්න TikTok viral යනවා නැතිල trending වෙනවා hot පහසක් පැවසෙනවා spicy රස වැටහෙනවා prima කොත්තමි fun තමයි.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem. ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. KYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances. Amazing.
Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Cheese රසට යාළුව සෙට් එක ස්මයිලි බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක ස්නැක් එක දැක්කම හිත ෆික්ස් වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා කැලිප්සු මික්ස් එක ඕනේ වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා බෝරින් ලයිෆ් එක බ්‍රේක් අප් කරගෙන සල්ස නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට අනියන් කික් එක ෆුල් හැපනින් මනවා අචික්
රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ජීවිතය අත්තිදින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය ජීවිතය අත්තිදින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
With one more bite of Revelo for sunshine.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය ජීවිතය අත්තිදින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න ගෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම් හැමදාම no problem ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වවලා යන්න කින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තමි kick එක මෙන්න TikTok viral යනවා නැතිරිය trending වෙනවා hot පහසක් නැවසෙනවා spicy රස වැටහෙනවා prima කොත්තමි fun තමයි
Four teams still standing. The battle for supremacy reaches its final stage. Dialog Schools Rugby League Super Round.
Back to the live action brought to you on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. Live action coming to you, of course, from Bambalapitiya, where the Patriots are sitting pretty. They have piled up 29 points in favor of them. They've secured the bonus point, and they'll want to make sure that they run in a dominant performance in this second, a dominant controlled performance, Abdullah. Seems like they are not too keen on making sure that they empty their tanks. They want something remaining, and there's another 50-22. St. Peters are kicking these for fun.
Yes, what a start by the Peterites. Again, the Antonians just don't seem to be on top of their game today. Making a lot of unforced errors. They're falling off tackles. Not reading the plays that the Peterites are throwing at them that well. Therefore, they find themselves 29 points to nil down. But from the Peterites' point of view, what a real clinical performance it's been by them. It's another well-taken line out. Attempting a driving ball, and referee Abegon has his hand up for a penalty. So it's a bit of a free run for the Peterites. Trying a switch move, but not successful. The referee will go back for the penalty. Signaling number 2, guilty of collapsing that maul.
Tisra Galanga. Antonians will do well to be very careful on that. They've already received a general warning as Windadimal duly complies and puts the ball to boot. Petrite Mall has presented a lot of trouble for the Antonians, so the Petrites will hope they can capitalize on this one as well as Dulaj Navodya sets it up. St. Peter's setting it up. Antonians initially not managing to stop it, but Navodya, did he touch down?
Number 3.
Referee wanting to have a word with the Antonian number 3. Kotuvela. Third time Antonians been found guilty. Now just as they start the second half, they lose a player, and rightfully so, because Ishanka Bekon has been very clear. Absolutely clear, and he says, third time you're doing it. I'm sorry mate, you are going to go to the bin. St. Peter's quickly taking it forward, but have lost it forward. That will be a goal line kick. The Petrite forwards aren't happy. They may be 29 points in front. They want to collect as many as they possibly can.
Back.
Probably a little bit over-eager as we have a look at that replay once again. Just unable to ground the ball. Some really desperate defense by the Antonians. That was just before that quick tap was taken. So goal line dropout. Safely collected by Petrite wing 3/4.
Pasidi Bandar. Here's Galanga going to the short side. Yumet Shihar has been bundled into touch. Beg your pardon, that's Shane Madhugaspe, that skipper, has been bundled into touch. Madhugaspe already touched down twice in the first half. It'll be important that Tisra Galanga tries and hits the mark from this line out.
So that was a knock forward. Bit of a reprieve for the Antonians. Got the line out of their own. It's trying to do the drying ball, but really well countered by the Peterites.
Keith Siri putting the ball to boot. Nothing kicked really. It's in front of the men who was at the back. Here's a dangerous Tarindu. Tries to offload. Luckily for the Antonians, finds no man. Jaya Vikrama back at the hand to Shihara, who goes searching for space. Galanga now to Tarindu, who feeds the forwards. Passindu carries it for St. Peter's College. Big prop Veera Bangsa. Now to Jaya Vikrama. Jaya Vikrama with a short pass to Madhugaspe, the skipper. Play on, says the referee. Here's Tarindu looking for space and options. Makes the ball available for Galanga. Navodya. Antonians right on top of that ball, and rightfully so. Sadhu Katakorala had all the right to that ball. Dulaj Navodya that time was isolated momentarily, and Atakorala doing very well to show daylight and pounce at that ball.
Yes, and once that big boy gets a good base, there's no shifting him. So you just sense that the Antonians are just hanging on by a thread, isn't it? Just haven't been able to get any flow going in their attacking game. They've been forced to get into kicking situations many a time. The Peterites have just controlled possession throughout this game.
Tulasnavud, they had absolutely no right to that ball. Atakorala putting that man down, and I thought maybe didn't really show daylight, but did give enough opportunity for the ball carrier to make it available for the next man coming in. Important line out by Tisra Galanga. That time finds the flank at the back, but lovely work by the Patriot defense, who sacked that one. Kirtisiri now putting the ball to boot. This time finds Jaya Vikram at the back, who surveys the field and puts the ball to boot. Here's Kirtisiri inside his own 22 meters. Finds Tarindu. Tarindu deciding to run the ball. Gets away from the first tackler. Can't get away from the second. Quick ball out to Shihara. Shihara shows and goes. Ball ripped off by him. Gunaratne didn't look like he had any way to go rather than run back. But referee Abhikun says no advantage, and a scrum in favor of the Antonians.
Yes, you sense a bit of a drop in intensity from both sides, isn't it, Sudarshana? Errors creeping into the game. To 29 points to nil scoreline can be demoralizing for one team, and the other team can probably just tend to relax subconsciously. But the Peterites, I'm sure, will want to just carry this momentum forward, isn't it? They got a big game. Could very well be the title decider next week against the Isipathana lads.
Yes, Kirtisiri with a slight show and go, which earns him about 5 meters.
No.
Now Gunaratne gives it to his line. Velagedara gets it after ricocheting from on the opposition player Jaya Vikram yet again with a big strong carry.
First knock on, second on, jump down.
Initial loss forward from the Antonians, so St. Peter's receiving a possession of the ball in favor of scrum in the opposition half.
Yes, the Antonians seem to be lost for ideas in attack, isn't it? Just going lateral, kicking the ball away. Just don't seem to have any ideas on how to attack today. Could attribute to some very good structured Peterite defense as well. Kirtisinghe just hasn't been able to ignite any form of attack for the Antonians. The Peterites have played this game very smart. They played it territorially, have spent a lot of time in the Antonians half in that first half, and just seem to be carrying on in the same vein in the second half as well.
Time on.
Just keeping on applying the pressure.
And also, Abdullah, just like we discussed earlier, they have made sure that they are not over-tiring themselves. They've just gone through the grooves. They've just made sure that they are doing things right and not tiring themselves out, burning themselves out. But at the same time, making sure that they get points to crow about. Here's the St. Peter's background, and Shihara really didn't have to put his hand out there. Something him and the team will be upset about.
Yes, the problem there was they're trying this cutout place, but no one was running straight. Someone needed to straighten the line. It's very hard to find your target when the ball receiver is running laterally. Got to run straight. Something which no doubt that Peterite three-quarters will try to iron out next week. So another opportunity for the Antonians to launch an attack. Big scrum by the Peterites, but penalized for not keeping it straight. Antonians take it quickly.
Yes, Kirtisiri giving it to Velagedara. Big carry by Velagedara, managed to gain about 6 meters. Maria Das gives it to Ramdir Pereira, who's been tackled high. It's a penalty in favor of the Antonians. Chiranta Fernando tucks it in Gunaratne to Abdul Razid.
No advantage, go back. Advantage. Number 13, high tackle.
That time Umit Shihara was again the culprit
Number 13, high
from
tackle.
St. Peter's College, who delivered that high shot on Ramdir Pereira of the Antonians.
කක්වල charge කරද්දි බල්ල charge කරන්න ඕන.
Yes, knew immediately that he had done a mistake. So just an opportunity for the Anthonians. Another good touch finder by the skipper. It's just that they just don't seem to have any ideas on how to attack against this very solid Peterite defensive line.
Yes, the Antonians, it's important that their kicking hasn't been intelligent like they normally do. It's important that they find a couple of spots. They identify a couple of weak spots in the Peterite defense and try and attack that, especially in the center field with ball carriers like Belagitara and Moria does. If they can look at the channel of the 13-14 channel between Yumet Shihara and Dineta Ranasinghe.
Yes, again, that driving maul totally disjointed. Peterites taking a quick tap.
Well, St. Peter's, they are in a hurry to score points as much as they possibly can. Here's Dineth Ranasinghe, unfortunately losing the ball forward. Rupa Singha put in Keithasiri rather, put in the ball to boot, finds Kushan Tarindu. Tarindu with a pass, a wishful pass where he hoped that somebody would catch that and speed away. But unfortunately for him, Jahan Veerabangsa, the prop forward, was the recipient. Couldn't hold on to that for too long.
Yes, errors creeping into the game little by little. Just sense a drop in intensity. But the Peterites just need to remain sharp, isn't it, Sudarshana? Considering with one eye to next week as well. They wouldn't want the momentum they have built up in that first half. Let it go. They'll want to try and score another couple of tries at least, just to give them that confidence.
Here are the Antonians. Sanskrit Siri putting the ball to boot, and yet again it's out on the full. He looks he cuts a different figure today, Keith Siri. Having a real off day, isn't he? And like we discussed, whenever he plays well, the Antonians play absolutely brilliantly. But when he's having a bad day like today, Antonians look like an ordinary outfit.
Yes, again, just don't seem to have any ideas on how to launch an attack. Probably need to be a bit more patient to try and create a few phases. They just seem to intent on trying to do something from the first phase itself. It's a very hard thing to do against very good defensive teams and teams that have got very good defensive systems like the Peterites do.
Coach Sanat Marish making sure that he does the replacements to make sure that he keeps everybody fresh. New man in, fresh legs, Silva, Vishek the Silva.
No hands on. Hands ball.
Referee Abekon says hands off, and he was persistent on that. St. Peter's now losing the ball forward, but Galang comes away with it. Here's Dimal to Jayavikrama, who thought a lot more about catching that ball and scoring the try, as Roshan Silva is on pursuit, but unfortunately for him, ball goes out in the in goal. A couple of words delivered to him as well.
Yes, that was the first real opportunity for the Anthonians to try and get a score. It was off into a Peterite error. Unfortunately, the bounce of the rugby ball not favouring them, just going over the deadline.
Yeah, so the scrum will be all the way back where Roshan Kumar initially kicked it, and it'll be in favour of the Peterites. Will be more than happy to taunt the Antonian forwards.
Oh.
Dialog with the put in and
Fine.
Pete rights with another pedestal to run. Their backs will be more than happy to try and create from this one. Dimmel, Vishenka in the corner, looking to run. One man to beat, but good work by Kirtisiri. But looks like he's injured himself in the act.
Yes, another unforced error, losing the ball in contact. So have a look at that once again. This was much better by the Peterites, running much straighter. Few decoy runners. That was very well straightened out and passed by fullback Tharidu Kushan. Unfortunately for them, Jayavira just not able to hold on to the ball and losing it in contact.
Kirtisiri, the way he went to the ground didn't look too good. Maybe it was his shoulder, or was it his head contact? We will try and take a look if that's available on the replay. Now take a look at this. Silva goes to the side. Wrong head positioning by Kirtisiri. Should have tried to take him on the other shoulder. Nothing's gone his way, isn't it, Abdul? Absolutely nothing has gone his way from the get-go, from that initial kick, and I would assume it'll be the wise call and the correct call to take him off now.
Yeah, especially if it's a knock on the head. Be very cautious in how you approach those situations. But Visheka Silva would have done better to run towards the corner flag rather than cut in. Would have had a better chance of going over for the try. But that was not the case. So we have a hold up in play as the medics look into the well-being of the Antonian skipper. He's shaking his left leg, which is always a good sign.
Oh, that's nice to see that Kirtisiri is back okay.
Yes, so we've gone about 15 minutes in this second half. There hasn't been a score in that period. Quite a few unforced errors by both teams.
Here's some of the fans, and I can guarantee you the man you can see on your screen in that maroon t-shirt looks concerned. A good friend of mine, Rishad Jamal, could be the bad omen for the Antonians. I don't think he's turned out for any of the games, but has decided that he's going to come for this one. Doesn't look too good for the Antonians.
Yes, not sure he'll be your friend after mentioning that on live TV, Sudarshana, but nonetheless, it's good to see the Antonian skipper up on his feet. Interesting to see whether he'll continue to play. Doesn't look like it will be the case, so that could be the end of Kirtisiri's game. Has had a tough day at the office. So the Antonians will get a replacement in and will have to manage the remainder of this game without their talisman. But it's good to see that he's walking away rather than being stretchered out.
And also great work by the medical staff and also the referee to try and recognize that he was not in a position to play. Player safety is of absolute importance as we see a massive thumping tackle on that player. I believe there was Mario Das who was the recipient of that. Now Deshan Lienege has been given the responsibility of coming into the first 5-8 position. Seems like there is another injury that is creeping up. Let's see whether we can try and see what happened there. Boomfa. Big collision. Yumet Shihara was the man who delivered that, and for a moment Randir Pereira was trying to wonder what did hit me.
Yes, a wonderful defensive read as well was by Shihara. Probably wondering whether he was in Kandy or Colombo after that kind of a hit. It's blindsided you completely. Seats the Estonian wing 3/4. Randir Pereira just being assessed. See whether he's okay. Seems to be the case. So resume play with a scrum for the Peterites.
Almost 20 minutes into this second half. It's been an error-ridden half. No team scoring as the Peterites run in their replacement. Here's Jayavikrama to Tarindu. Tarindu looking to run. Changes direction and offloads to Jayavikrama. Vishankar making the ball available. Jayavikrama now acting half-back. Pereira carries it forward for St. Peter's College. Dimel. Space on the outside and cutting back inside was Pasidu Bandara. Now the big prop forward has been held up. By the looks of it, no celebrations from the St. Peter's camp. Grounding okay, says referee Atavara. So run it to Ridmal. Will notch up a try for his name as well.
Yes, the big man turning up at the correct time, close to the try line and using his body weight to barge over. But again, that was much better by the Peterite entire team. Recycling the ball and Ridmal collecting the ball and barging over. And the Anthonians try as they might, but just not being able to avert that touchdown. So that's the first score for the Peterites in this second half. Courtesy the big prop forward, Ridmal. Conversion is not successful, so the score will remain 34 points to nil. Just make the Peterites feel so much better. Go for a period of 18 minutes in that half without a score. Sitara deciding to take a drop kick, but as the conversion, but not successful. So the game has recommenced. Safely collected by the Peterites, who just tonk it down the ground. A loopy pass. Antonians trying to make something out of that counter-attack. But again, just running into their own man, an accidental offside. Seemed to be a lack of cohesion in the Antonians' attacking play today.
Time off.
Well, doesn't look like they are going anywhere, isn't it? They look like they don't look like they have that mind space to try and make any attack on this one.
Change.
Referee making a
9, number 9. Number 9, change delivery. Number 9. යන්න කියන්නේ.
Yes, probably see the Peterites bring on some of their subs into the game now, just to keep the first choice players fresh. At the same time, you don't want to lose that kind of rhythm just before a big game. It's been a really tough outing for the Antonian lads. Looks like their scrum half Gunaratna has been replaced.
play out the 19 එකට.
And the Peterites seem to be doing the same. Try scorer Ridma has been subbed as well. Will be pretty pleased with his outing. You can see the Peterite lock forward Shanuka Pereira.
Crouch.
He'll be taking a breather as well. So
Set.
Coach Martis ringing in the replacements, trying to keep his first choice players as free as possible.
Now it's up to the fringe players to make sure that they make a name for themselves. Kushant Tarindu that time dropping that ball will be very disappointed in himself. Not managing to spur something on. He's been kept quiet by the Antonian outfit.
9, hurry up. Crouch.
So it's a scrum for the Antonians.
Set. Steady. Stay.
Be Sherwin Fonseca, the freshman scrum half. Will feed the three quarters, trying to launch something, but again, just unable to get any momentum. They're back in their own 22.
Back.
Managed to recycle the position, and Pereira going on the short side. Again, an ungainly kick right into the fullback's hand. Launches a counter attack, breaks a couple of tackles. Recycled well. To get it out to the three quarters. Sitara looking up, not the best of kick aheads. Needed to keep the ball in hand at the very least. Now an opportunity for the Antonians. But again, it's slow ball, giving the Peterite defense time to settle. Trying to attack along the fringes. Again, losing the ball in contact, and the Peterites pouncing on that.
Play on.
Again, it's given back, so comedy of errors really. Chance for the Antonians. But unable to
You left the ball.
recycle the ball. Penalty for not supporting the body weight is a call. The Antonians take a quick tap. Try to launch an attack. Not 10 meters.
Number 19.
So looks like it will be a card against the Peterites for not retreating 10 meters from that penalty.
Sandin Kularatna, the number 19. He's just made the field. Just don't do that to me, ref. I just came in and he gets told off by referee. Sanand Marty says, not here, mate. Just go and sit in the corner. You're on the naughty chair.
Yes, I don't think he'd mind that actually. I don't think he'd want to go and sit next to the coaching staff after making that kind of an error. Just need to be a bit disciplined. Because I don't think the Antonian, or rather the Peterites, were any danger of conceding too much of ground. So let's see if the Antonians can just get some consolation points before this game is over. Approaching the last 10 minutes of this game.
This is what the Antonians will be after. Will be at least a consolation score, and that's not the way you're going to go about it. You're not going to get that if that's how you are going to go about it. It's nobody else's error. Take a look at this. That pass was for a man who was about 25 meters away from you, not who was just 5 meters away from you.
Yes, you can see the Antonian number 8 on that occasion pleading with the referee. Probably said that there was a Peter Wright hand in that pass, but didn't seem to have been picked up. Nonetheless, an attacking opportunity for the Peter Wrights. Ball is nicely fed, trying to launch an attack from their own ground. Oh, a lovely angle, breaking that first line of defense.
Basidu Bandar, a lovely bit of work by him. Had the good sense to place the ball and then get back up on his feet to make it available. Short offload, but that time had to release the ball. Man coming in was the number 20 for the Antonians, Rakesh Jayavansa. Antonians now playing for pride. 12 minutes remaining on our clock. It's important that they at least get a score. But seems like the Rector's Trophy is going to be safe here at Bambalapitiya. Abdullah.
Yes, I think that was pretty much decided in the first half itself, wasn't it, Sudarshana? Expected the Antonians to come out firing, but they've hardly thrown a punch in this game. It's just the kind of encounter the Peter Wrights would have wanted, isn't it, going into that big game? A nice encounter where they could pile on the points. No major injury worries so far. Don't want to jinx them, but overall, I think Coach Martis will be pretty happy with the way things have progressed so far.
And also now they are playing with a numerical disadvantage. I don't think Coach Martis will mind that here he's getting his bench strength as well tested. And they're now playing with a one-man disadvantage. Antonians looking to create something. They've struggled to make more than 3 to 4 phases on the go throughout this game. If they can hold on to the ball with this new Pete Wright outfit where about 8 to 7 players have come off the bench, they can get their continuity as they go inside the 22 meters, but a sharp back again. Here's the fullback, puts the ball to boot, but Kushantarindu says, I'll take a couple of seconds if you don't mind, and calls mark.
It's again just the lack of ideas, isn't it, Sudarshan? Going into contact, creating a phase, couple of phases, not knowing what to do, kicking the ball away. And then again the Peter Wrights.
Ambitious. You may have won the game, but your coach is not going to take too kindly to it. Take a look at that. Coach Martis with his hands on his hips wants perfection, wants absolute perfection from his teams. Right behind the action. Not happy. What were you thinking?
Yes, I think the Peter Wrights just need to try and calm down and just play to their structures, isn't it? They're just trying to play a bit too cute and trying to be a bit more open in their play. Trying to pile on the points, but they will do that if they just remain patient and just play according to the game plan defined.
Having a horror day, absolute horror day is Deshan Lienage, who's had to be played in that fly-off position after Sahan Kirtisiri was taken out. It doesn't help the fact that you're not used to not having a number 8. Your timing is all gone. It's a new scrum half. You played fullback the entire season and suddenly you're in that number 10 slot. Staring down 34 points to nil. 8 minutes to go. Will St. Peter's get any more points before they put the Antonians out of their misery? Tarindu loses his footing momentarily, loses the ball forward there. Hasn't been his day as well.
Yes, well, error after error. Don't think the Peter Wrights will be too pleased with the way things have gone in this second half. They were excellent in that first half, but you sense that probably took the eye off the ball. With one eye already to next week. But just they need to, just for these next 7 minutes or so, just try and build up a few phases. Just to get that confidence back. They don't want to go on this note next week. But for the moment, they'll have to defend because the Anthonians trying to launch an attack. Going into contact. Ball is recycled.
Penalty advantage, line offside.
Pete Wright's being adjudicated as being offside, so it's a penalty advantage for the Anthonians. Got to make it count.
Advantage.
So there's no advantage there, so we'll come back for the penalty. Quickly taken by the Anthonians. Taken up. Just trying to create another phase. It's all very static ball. Pete Wright defense is up quick on the Anthonians. Again, a loose pass.
Abdul Rashid thinking momentarily about kicking that ball, but decides no. I'm going to take it in. And voice call on that this time. Kotuvila taking it in for the Antonians. Now going on the long side. Ball bounces everywhere. And St. Peter's getting that ball. Really Antonians not finding any ideas to penetrate that gain line. And also to all our viewers, as we see the replay of that. It's a special day for the Papare.com production crew as we celebrate the birthday of our lead engineer, Samat Rajamantri, who's in charge of putting the hard yards in and making sure everything here works, despite forgetting the stand fans every time. And he's organized a grand party soon after this production here at Bambalapitiya. So any one of you from the Papare.com are willing to join, all you got to do is make your way to Bambalapitiya. He's bought an ice cream before the game and has promised dinner after the game.
So as the Peter Wrights launch another attack, this is much better by them, creating phase after phase.
Skipper looking for his third, managing to hold on to position. Now the Pete Wrights
Again offside. Penalty advantage.
Getting advantage as well. So that will be a penalty in favor of the home team, who are looking for that 40-point mark. It's going to be a card. Velagadara just might go to the bin.
Yes, he'd have to give a card because that was very cynical, wasn't it? He didn't make any attempt to retreat the 10 meters. You're inside the red zone as well, so I don't think the referee had any choice but to dish out a yellow card. So that was much better by the Peter Wrights, just creating a few phases, keeping possession. They've taken a quick tap, taking it up again.
Go back.
Ball goes out. Hands. Again, just losing the pass. I'm just wondering, Sudarshan, whether it would be better for them to go to the line out, collected line out, just try the driving maul.
Well, I think it'll be better, like in cricket, if the two captains can shake their hands and say, mate, let's just put each other out of our misery and we'll call it a day, because in the last 15 minutes of the life, we had to count the number of unforced errors. It's looked hideous for both the teams, and it's at these moments, I really hope that I'm wrong, at these kind of moments the most unfortunate injuries happen, because players are not really concentrating.
Exactly. Again, a loose scrum, and looks like they'll be bundled inside the goal line, so it'll be a 5-meter scrum. So error after error by the Anthonians. We really looked forward to a close contest, but it just hasn't been the case, isn't it, Sudarshana?
Yes, it's been that kind of day for the visiting team, the Antonians, and also the Peterites
Hurry up, 9.
in the second half. But Abdullah, as we close in on the final few minutes of the game, it's up to us to try and decide the NDB player of the match of the day. A couple of the Peterite players have really put their hands up, and most of them have gone to the bench now. And Pasid Bandara will drive the final nail in the coffin of the Antonians, taking the score line to 39 points with that move. And we need to try and decide on who the player of the match will be. And Winder Dimal, who was the starting flyer for St. Peter's, was pretty good as well. And also their skipper, Ashen Madhugaspe, who touched down twice for the Peterites. But I think for the all-round aspect, defensively and also in attack, I think for me, Sudesh Jayavikrama was one of those standout players, and I'd like to propose him as the NDB player of the match.
Yeah, Sudarshan, I have to agree. I thought in that first half in particular, he was in the midst of everything good that the Peterites did. And of course, that wonderful individual try as well. So I have to agree with you. Jayavikrama, well-deserved award for him, because that performance in that first half was outstanding by him. So the conversion, not successful. And looks like the referee has had enough as well. So that will be the end of the game. Peterites running out convincing winners. 39 points to 0 against a very lackluster Antonian outfit, you'd have to say. It was a wonderful first half performance by the Peterites, but just slightly took their foot off the pedal in that second half. But nonetheless, they'll be pretty pleased with the outing. Don't think there were many serious injuries as such. And got the all-important bonus point as well. You never know, could be important in the context of the league.
Yes, could be mighty important in the context of the league, like you mentioned, Abdullah. So that's going to be something that they will have at the back of their mind. The two teams who are in the forefront of winning the league, St. Peter's and Isipatana College. Isipatana meeting Royal, of course, tomorrow for the major Milroy Fernando Trophy. If Royal can upset that green machine who've been unbeaten, the bonus points are going to be absolutely crucial when these two teams meet for the doubleheader. So this Jayavikrama being congratulated is the NDB player of the match for the day, who's absolutely wonderful performance by him, and arguably scored one of the better tries of the league, Abdullah. Full-time confirmation, 39 points to 0, as St. Peter's ran havoc in the first half specifically and managed to score couple tries in the second as well to get the all-important victory. The Peterite Lounge right next to us will definitely relish the idea of getting some Keel's Crest crispy chicken today, with the golden batter and juicy chicken inside. It's one of the go-to bites that you can bite onto, as St. Peter's will go on celebrating the all-important win here before a crunch game next week, where they will take on Isipatana College at the same location. So that would have been very important that they got a confident victory here, Abdullah, before they meet the defending league champions.
Yes, most definitely. As we have a look at the highlights of the second half. So that was the tackle by Kirtisiri, which resulted in him leaving the ground, and just a couple of tries by the Peterites. This was the first try of that second half. Ranita Ridma popping up at the correct time and barging over for the first try of that second half by the Pete Wrights. And then on the stroke of full time, some long winding passes and a wonderful take by Pasindu Bandara, putting the finishing touches to that move, and which was the final play of the game as well. So Pete Wrights ending up with ending up as comfortable victors, 39 points to nil. They'll be pretty pleased with the outing, don't you think, Sudarshana? Don't think they'll be particularly pleased with that second half performance, but on the whole, I think everyone expected this to be a much closer encounter, but they pretty much dominated proceedings today.
Like you mentioned, once a team scores 29 points in the first half, that concentration really tends to slip, isn't it, come the second half. But St. Peter's College running in 6 tries, 3 conversions, 1 penalty. They played what was in front of them. There was very good game awareness, and there was very good composure, and also defensively they did not let the Antonians make any headway. So overall, very good outing for the Pete Wrights before they take on the defending champions next week here at Bambalapitiya. NDB player of the match, Sudesh Jayavikram from St. Peter's College, who was absolutely incredible in both attack and defense for St. Peter's College. Upcoming fixtures of the week, tomorrow, the all-important game coming up. Royal College taking on Isipatana in the Major Milroy Fernando Trophy, and also a second round fixture of the Dialog Schools Rugby League 2023. That will be at Royal Complex, coming to you on Dialog TV channel 126 as well. Canon Norris Deserum Trophy will be battled out in Mount Lavinia, where St. Thomas's host Trinity College in Mount Lavinia. The Lions travelling up to Colombo for the second week in a row will want to make sure they get their hands on that shield. St. Thomas's will be looking to close their season before they play Royal College for the Michael Gunratna Trophy with a win against the Trinitians. That's what's up in the next couple of days, but we are far from done. Next week, the big clash. St. Peter's College, unbeaten, will meet Isipatana College, who are the defending champions, here at Bambalapitiya on the 19th of August at 4 p.m. kickoff. Antonians will host Royal College up in Kandy, and that will be an interesting one. That will be the season closer for Antonians when it comes to the league and also Royal College, so that both teams will want to notch up a victory. DSN Anayaka College will be playing their 15th annual rugby encounter against Mahanama College. That will be at Havelock Park. All these games coming to you live on Sri Lanka's #1 sports hub, www.thepapare.com. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure bringing you the pictures from Bambalapitiya. I'm Sudarshan Peiris signing off alongside Abdullah Yusuf, the Papare.com production and the technical crew. Until we meet next time, same place, same time next week. Have yourself an absolutely wonderful weekend.
මේ ජොබ් එක අදම කරන්න ඕනේ.
අදම
no problem.
ඕගොල්ලොත් එන්නේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකට. ඩ්‍රෙස් කෝඩ් එක black.
black
no problem.
නව වැඩි දියුණු කළ ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් ඇක්ටිව් ක්ලිම්බසෝල් පළමු සේදීමෙන්ම ඉස්සොරි ඉවත් කරයි. ස්වභාවික සාරයන් හිස පෝෂණය කරයි.
නටමුද?
No problem.
හැමදාම ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් නම්
හැමදාම no problem.
ඩැන්ඩෙක්ස් හිස නිදහසේ ඉදිරියට.
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
Aloe vera and mint for freshness, chamomile for sensitive skin, lemon and lime for an energetic day. Big shaving foam, a change you must experience.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න.
Enjoy the infinite possibilities of the freedom of space, inspired by the beauty of our land. Sri Lanka's finest finished, largest sized porcelain tile collection. Majestica. Lanka Tiles. Fine living redefined.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක මෙන්න prima කොත්තුමි fun තමයි
cheese වලට යාළුව set එක smiley බෙදනවා ඕන වෙලාවක snack එක දැක්කම හිත fix වෙනවා සරට කැමති අය දවස පුරාවට සැරයිල්ලනවා calypso mix එක ඕන වෙලාවක නැගලම යනවා boring life එක break up කරගෙන salsa නටනවා ලුණු රටාවට onion kick එක full happening වෙනවා
රටටම රස බෙදෙන මංජි රස බලකාය දැන් අලුත් වෙලා.
නැවුම් බව රැකදෙන කුමාරිකා හම්බිට් සංවීධී සමකට කැම ඔයිල් බික් ෂේවිං ෆෝම් අත්විදිය හැකි වෙනසකට.
Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Hey, have you heard about Z?
ZZ. WeKYC.
Easy.
Mobile banking. Crazy.
Education loans and salary advances.
Amazing. Introducing the Digital Youth Account. NDBZ. NDBZ from NDB Bank. The future is banking on us.
ඕනම දෙයක් කරන්න විදියක් තියෙනවා. ඒ තමයි තමන්ගේ විදිය. ජීවිතය අත්විඳින්න ආත්ම විශ්වාසයෙන් නැගී සිටින්න. බෝල්ඩ් ඔපම වෙන්න. Coloma, beautiful outside and inside.
Your embrace so warm with one more bite of Revelo for sunshine. Don't wanna miss this pouring rain, pleasing my soul with one more bite of Revelo for the rain. This freedom takes me north that I have never been. With one more bite of Revelo for the road. Love never felt this good. With one more bite of Revelo for love. Hot and spicy fun vibe එක විවර කරන්න beat එක remake කරන්නට වෙන්න හදවත වවලා යන්න ගින්දර fashion කරන්න fun උතුරන්න කොත්තුමි kick එක මෙන්න prima කොත්තුමි fun තමයි
came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.